What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. Today we're going to talk about the long-awaited Drake and Partynextdooor album that was pushed back and then uh, supposed to come out, pushed back, supposed to come out, and finally it came out on Valentine's Day as a play for the ladies out there, if you want to call them ladies or maybe strippers, I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Party Next Door and Drake, sexy songs for you, some sexy songs for you. And we're just gonna do what we do. I'm just gonna get to it. What I like, what I didn't like, and we're gonna sum it up in there. Now, a little bit of backstory. Party Next Door is an OVO artist, been an OVO artist on Drake's label for years. Kind of made a dent as one of those hybrid trap R&B crooners, like a Bryson Tiller, like Vori's another one. Um, Somewhat Don Toliver, who I like a lot. Don Toliver. Um, these guys that cross over between R&B and rap and trap lyrics. You know what I mean? So, these hybrid artists. Another one is what's his name from uh Jacquees from Baby's label, from Cash and Money Records or whatever. So uh he teamed up with Drake, and this basically is Drake's main project, first big budget project since the battle. You know what I mean? And I got some feelings as to, how he marketed this album, and I'll get to that later. But I'll just get to what I liked as I pull up the album right now. Let me share my screen real quick. Sexy songs for you. Okay, so what did I like here? Let's get into it. I like how it started. I like CN Tower. I think Drake did a nice job on that, definitely setting the tone for that. I like Something About You. I like the back and forth with Drake and Party Next Door. I think they had good chemistry on that song. One of the few songs they had really good chemistry, I thought. Um, I like the best song on there to me is Deeper by Party Next Door, where you really feel the emotion come out on Party's end, with his love and affection for women, and Party is good at that dark side of love. You know what I mean? A dark side of the I guess the inner conflict between fucking a lot of chicks and simping for one woman who probably has about 4 or 5 of the dudes she's dealing with. I call it about it's people begging for girls who got 4 or 5 of the dudes they're dealing with. I don't understand that culture, but hey, maybe that's beyond the scope of this music. But anyway, um, then I like Small Town Fame. I think that's Drake's maybe best solo record. You know what I mean? I like that. I like Brain Steel. I like that one too, by Drake. I think that's pretty good. I like well, Give Me a Hug, I'm gonna get to later because I got a lot to say on that record. But and then I like When He's Gone. You know what I mean? As far as records that I really like on there, I think those records kind of set the tone for the album, and as to why those records definitely capture the feel of this slow, I guess, trap R&B or trap soul album. Okay, so let's get to it. What didn't I like? 21 songs is just too long. Especially for a slow trap soul record. I wouldn't go over 15 songs. And it basically, listen, you can say what you want about Drake, dude. This dude has consistently made the same scope of an album, the same type of album, really, since COVID, yo. This song right here, all it sounds like is a slowed down version of All for the Dogs. That's all it is. With Partynextdooor features. He did the same thing, basically talking about simping and begging for strippers, 304s, girls that got 4 or 5 other dudes that are dealing with drug dealers on the side, or OnlyFans models. That's what it feels like. You know what I mean? And it keeps going back to that line that Kendrick said in Euphoria. Is like, we hate the bees that you fuck. We only care about real women. You know what I mean? It don't sound like he's begging for love from, girls that are real women. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're, trying to cater to OnlyFans models. You're trying to cater to the under 25, which was the problem with All for the Dogs. Is it's like, bro, you're pushing 40 years old and you're trying to make music for teenagers, for this Gen Z relationship BS, which I really don't get. You know what I mean? And it feels like you're just trying to fit in. You're not growing as an artist. And the sad thing about it is Drake, I think, used this. At first, I think this was more of a Partynextdooor project to feature Partynextdooor. And to Party's credit, out of all the OVO artists, he's held it down for Drake the most. He's written for Drake. He's helped produce for Drake. He's done features, and he still hasn't got his real shine as an overall artist. But this was a moment for him, Party, to really shine, because I do think he's talented. I do like, not this album. I think the album before last, a couple years ago. I really like that album, that Party dropped. Party's a talented dude. But I think Drake used him, and I think the main theme of this album is for the quote. I'm making a new name now. This is an album for the nation of Drake. All those Drake stans and Drake bots out there that are begging for something to compete against Kendrick Lamar. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this shit ain't it. It's boring. Most of the songs are boring outside the ones that I named. He tried a weak attempt at a drill flow at the end. He tried some alternative stuff at the end that really wasn't hitting. It was mostly skips and filler material. And I feel sorry for Partynextdooor, because Drake did this at the expense of Partynextdooor. It would have been a better served album if it was a Partynextdooor album, and then maybe Drake featured on some raps, or maybe some more up-tempo songs where Drake could show his bars. You know what I mean? But him just going back and forth, and I don't think their chemistry is good outside of a few songs. It's not hitting, man. It's just not hitting. It feels like a bunch of Drake R&B throwaway verses. Seriously, like it just sounds like Drake. I don't know. It sounds like Drake did some of these songs a while ago, and it's the same concept material. It's like you're simping over chicks that are 20, 23 years old who got 3 or 4 other guys on the side or whatever, and you're begging for their love. That's what it sounds like, bro. Seriously. It's sad, dude. No growth whatsoever. Like I said, like it just sounds like you're trying to cater to the OnlyFans and stripper generation. I mean, and he lays that out in Give Me a Hug. So, okay, let's get to Give Me a Hug. Give Me a Hug is the kind of the record that Drake raps the most. I guess his record on here, the most up-tempo record on here where he raps. You know what I mean? And this is the moment that the nation of Drake was waiting for as to how is he going to reply to Kendrick? Is he going to talk about the Super Bowl performance? Is he going to talk about, GNX? Is he going to have direct shots back to Kendrick? This has to be the most passive aggressive shit I have ever heard. And just to lay out, Give Me a Hug, I do like his flows and the rap on there. He does rap pretty good. He has some slick bars on there. It's just the concept behind it and the cheap shots. And I'm just like, what's it going to be? Because, first of all, he had a cheap shot about Kanye West about there. He had a cheap shot about Kendrick, talking about you little fish in a small pond. You trying to get the youth on your side to come against you. And that's lame. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, really? You know what I mean? And then you try to say that Kendrick is trying to use them for promotion of your album, use him for promotion. But let's be honest, bro. You're doing the same damn thing too. You put out 18 songs during the year that got no traction, and most of them were weak rebuttals outside of the battle songs, taking shots at Kendrick. So it's like you're trying to use Kendrick as promotion too. In the end of the day, you changed your whole marketing strategy behind releasing this album around Kendrick. You know what I mean? Apparently, you were going to put it up against him about when he dropped his album. You're waiting for that. Then the week before you found out Kendrick was dropping his album, you pulled it at the last minute because you wanted to drop it to counter Kendrick and his energy. You're going to wait a week after the Super Bowl performance so people could get their reaction out on Valentine's Day, basically as a way to kind of, if you want, show up Kendrick or get some attention back from Kendrick after the Super Bowl performance. You're using him for promotion too, bro. So what's new? You know what I mean? On top of that, you kind of kicked off the beef with push-ups. So don't give me the promotion shit when you're doing it. And like I said, it's passive aggressive energy. You know what I mean? And at the same time, this is what I mean, the definition of passive aggressive bullshit. You're going to shout out Melissa Ford for being from Toronto, who's on the Joe Budden's podcast, legendary video model and podcaster on Joe Budden's. And then you're going to call Joe Budden's a dick sucker. That's what I mean, man. That is such bitch ass shit. I mean, I don't even know. You know what I mean? You're going to use... So that is a definition of female passive aggressive energy to big up Melissa Ford and say, it's a shame you with that cocksucker over there. Almost like, it almost sounds like you're trying to make it like you caught feelings over her, like you like her or something, or you want to date her. Why are you with that dude? You should be with me type shit. That is so lame. You know what I mean? And really, calling a dude that is fighting shit. Like, when you're calling out dude's manhood like that, that's some weak shit, bro. And let's go back and look at the history. Like, Joe Budden's called you out lyrically on when he was rapping before he retired. You know what I mean? Because you had some slick shit to say about his reviews about you. You didn't want smoke with him there. Then when Joe reviewed All for the Dogs and said you sound uninspired, you come back with some real petty female shit, calling him a failed rapper and all of this shit online, where you basically crashed out on social media. You know what I mean? So he's not important. And during the whole battle, you try to downplay the importance of his podcast. But now, all of a sudden, he's important because you're still referencing him. it sounds like you got a crash out battle with Joe Budden's going on in your head when he's living rent free, bro. You know what I mean? Rent free in his head, bro. I mean, it's so weak, man. And that's my problem with this song is you want to like it, but it's like you because the raps and the flows are cool, but just the concept is so passive aggressive and so bitch ass. I can't fuck with it. And then you do some weak, corny, simping singing on at the end, saying, "Oh, all of my strippers come to me. I miss you." Like, come on, man. Basically, and when that part of the song wasn't needed, when you really was starting to cook and maybe go into a harder verse with like a little bit of edge on it, nah, you want to go simp out for your OnlyFans and stripper models? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. The shit's just weak. I mean, I put it to you like this. I mean, I like the flows and the raps, but the execution of that is just weak in the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it's just contradictory. It's just such contradictory shit in the end of the day, which is the problem that I have with this record. You know what I mean? And with this album overall. So, all right, where do we stand on this? I got to be honest with you. This does not have much replay value for me. Replay value is probably about a 4. You know, I'm not gonna say it's an R&B album, so I'm gonna go vibe. All right, I'll give it a cool 7 or so. You know what I mean? Concept wise, 4. You know what I mean? Same concepts on here that he's always had, that he's done for the last 3 albums now. You know what I mean? Any songs of note, I'll give it a 5 because there are a couple on here that I like. You know what I mean? Overall, I'm just gonna have to go with. I'll be generous and give you a 5.5 out of 10. But for the Nation of Drake, is this really what you're looking for as the comeback album? This ain't the comeback album to me. This ain't the album. This is an album to kind of him carry favor with, you know, his under 25 fan base of females that all they want to listen to is basically, trap slow jams. You know, like somebody had a meme online saying, "Oh, Drake makes music for BBL women and strippers in Atlanta because they're the only ones that can relate." And at this point, I kind of believe that meme. That has truth to this, especially from this album, especially going back to All for the Dogs. So yeah, this ain't it. I'm going 5.5 out of 10. Honestly, Drake, I'm more interested in the rumored collabo with Conductor Williams, which is an all rap album. Now, Drake is saying on that he's gonna make he's got a lot of things to get off his chest on that album, which is gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? But it's the same passive aggressive shit. You're saying, oh, you don't want this, you don't care about beefing. You just want to make the party lit. Yet you're still sub-shotting people that you've been beefing with for over a year and even past that. You know what I mean? Like, what you want to do, dog? Like, if you're gonna go in. Go back to really rapping and calling people's names out. Well, it's just a weak, feeble attempt. So some sexy songs for you. Drake, Party Next Door. I'm going 5.5 out of 10. You tell me in the comments, is this the comeback record Drake is looking for? Or did he just use Party Next Door's talent, to get back and feel good about himself with an album that he's put out, 5 times out of the last how many years? You know what I mean? You tell me. Some sexy songs for you. Are you feeling it? Drake and Party Next Door. I give it a 5.5 out of 10. You tell me in the comments what you think. On YouTube, definitely start commenting more on YouTube or what you think. Let me hear what you think on YouTube. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. So with that, I'll catch up with y'all later. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend, and I'll catch up with y'all. All right, peace.